We got two roof guys over here, two over here. They're working on cutting those angled pieces and fitting in the rest of the tiles along those edges. And a couple videos back, when they first delivered the supplies for this, I looked at some green boxes over there and theorized that they were starter strips, because in the US we lay down a piece of special waterproofing material right along the edge that sticks down there, and then you put your black paper over top of that. They didn't do that. I didn't say anything. I just kind of sat on it, thinking I might be wrong, or maybe they go on the hips in the ridge. So today they get here, they jump up there, they start tearing into this, and I go over and look, and the stuff's still sitting in there. So once again, I don't know, but I'm not going to wait till they make a mistake or they get too far into it, they can't fix it. So I just picked up a box, walked over to boss man and said, what about these? Oh yeah, we'll put them down. We'll put them down. Would they? I don't know. I hope they would have. But again, I'm not going to wait until they've already skipped over that step and then go back and have them rip shingles off my house, because there's already going to be penetrations in it. This is the box I'm talking about. I theorized they were starter strips and sealants for the soffits, but they actually go here, which makes sense why they would show a picture of that, right? Somebody cup? Okay. Okay. He's seen me looking at the box. He's telling me what's going on with it, even though I already knew. But I'll be quiet. Anyhow, these guys are modifying them somehow. Apparently they don't rest down over each other like they would like to see them. There's like a little hump right here. As it comes out here, he's taking those off. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Top. Yeah, so if they don't knock those off, then this is going to sit up like that. So they take them down so they settle in. You'd think the manufacturer would address that, what he's doing right there. I don't know anything anyhow, so don't ask me. Yeah, they got the steel done. So in order to pour this today, though, they got to get this formed and that whole back, which shouldn't take very long. They should still have the correct size pieces from these forms here. Should be able to just take them over there and slam them in the ground. And as you can see, steel's off the dirt. We got a toucher right there. I'll point that out to them before they form it. Eddie stopped by. He needs a couple pieces of rebar and then needs them welded. I got the rebar pulled out of the scrap pile over there. Got it cleaned up and cut the length. I just need to wait for somebody to pull out a welder and have them weld it for me. If they don't pull out a welder, I'll just take it home and weld it myself. They had just told me, hey, we're waiting on supplies and we're short on guys and we got to finish another job. If they had just said something on why they shunned me for a week, I'd be okay with that, but they didn't do that. So if they get this all knocked out today, I might take them back to 3.5 stars. But communication. I got my sign back up. I did tell P&D I'd like to hang on to this when we're done. Hang it out there for a while just as a memorabilia. Again, the stone here is going to be black. We special purchased that. Cost us about another, I don't know, $500 I suppose it was. Maybe a little more. But we got enough to do here, and here. And then I'm going to purchase enough on my own to do these two posts right around the gate here. One on each side of the gate, just to kind of tie it into the front of the house and make them stand out a little bit. The real reason I walked over here is to kind of show you what they're doing on these pieces here. You can see they're just cutting them at 45, so whatever the angle is, and running up the peak. Once I get that, I assume they'll take that membrane I just looked at over there in the green box, lay it on top of that seam, and then lay those caps on we just looked at all the way up. That end piece that's the birdhouse, will get laid out here on the end, and that 3-piece corner will get laid at the top. The same system here will run down the ridge at the top. At least that's the way I see it happening. But we'll find out today, I hope. Get these guys out of here, and then Duke will show up and want some money. And I'm going to have to paint my truck white now. Damn it. So that roof already looks better with the left edge trimmed and filled. And they went through that in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to guess another hour and a half. They'll have the entire top done. Was asking about throwing these scraps that they're sliding down the roof, the cutoffs, into the hole in the septic tank. I told him that's fine, but while I was asking me, I heard the guys on the roof asking him to ask me to get them some whiskey. I'm thinking, look, half you guys have never been here before, and you shunned me for a week. Why would I go buy you whiskey? Get your job done and get out of here. Looks like they're screwing these up the seam, and then what I thought was these starter rails or starter strips, they're putting in here, and we'll go over and look at it here in a second. And then I'm guessing what happens is once they get this strip run up the seam, they'll lay this across that strip and then lay this piece on, or the edge piece on there, and screw into that. So let's go look at it. Don't ask me how I did that, but it freaking burns because it hurts bad. They got the little brackets. If you look right there in the corner, they got the little bracket coming up, and then that metal strip is screwed into it. Waterproof membrane is going to go across the top of that, and then they'll set that cover right over top of that and screw down to that, I imagine. Son of a bitch, that hurts. God. All right, so they got the strip down up there, and he's putting spray foam in there to make sure that the birds can't get up in there. They hurt like hell. They're putting that rubber membrane over the top of that. And again, you can see the styrofoam spray right up in the corner there. Okay, so we talked about these in a couple of previous videos. These go under the edge of there, and you can kind of see them sticking up there. The boss did that first in by himself. I watched him put them on. They look good. Didn't pay much attention to the other two because it's really simple. You just peel the stuff off the back, stick it down, and lay the shingle tiles accordingly. Today they made the mistake of leaving a ladder up here where I could get up there. I climbed up there and looked at them, and they were down in behind the fascia. I could get my hand in up to my big knuckles. There's a gap above every one of them. So I said something to boss man there, and he's got them going through and fixing them now. Not sure why. Well, I mean, it isn't any easier, so I just have to believe they didn't know how to do it. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think I showed this before. There's a picture right on the box. You can see where it goes. Right under the edge. There's directions on the back. Right here, stick them down there. But they stuck them down in behind the fascia board. So it was only like 2 millimeters of the top of this sticking up behind the fascia board, and I could get my hand in clear up to here on top of them. These, for those of you that don't know, are to keep like the lizards and the snakes and birds and whatever else out of there. But like I said, he's up there fixing them. One more time, guys, you got to be paying attention. You got to be checking and following up on them. All right, now that that's all behind us and they're taking care of it, I want to talk about what they've done here. So if you look up there, you can see the black membrane. Before they put that down, they took that foam spray that I thought was to keep the birds out of Eddie's birdhouse right up here. You can see the foam sticking out there, but that's not where the birds are making nests at Eddie's. They're up in that other piece. So we'll get that fixed. But for now, they did take those cans of foam and sprayed them all the way up that seam. And then they put the black rubber membrane down over it, the sticky stuff. And then they laid the end cap on it and then just started overlapping these. There'll be one screw in each one of these that we saw them drilling earlier. Run it all the way up the top, run the 3-way up there and then down the ridge. And they'll do that all 4 corners. Unfortunately, this error might prevent them from either getting done today or being here late tonight, but that's not my problem. My problem is snakes and lizards in the attic. So it's Sunday. I'm 2 nights late getting to Eddie's. I was going to go again tonight, but I don't know. I'm going to make it again. I still got some of these strips under the ends to fix. They are going to get the roof done. Duke had to run to town and get one more piece of that waterproofing membrane. They got it. They're going to put that on. All they got left, I think, is to go through and screw these down and then finish the ridge, and they're done up there. Then after that, they just got to get, and these are pretty good here. There's one or two right in here that need fixed. But all of these, hopefully you can see them up in there, they're off. The tiles are sitting on the hump rather than the hump sitting in the tile. So they get those fixed, finish the top, and I'll be willing to write a check there. Not that anybody writes checks anymore, but house guys are getting the beams poured for these windows. So now Bon is putting walls in the kitchen here. Looks like mainly they got beams here, a couple walls here. Finish the front walls and beams, and a couple beams here. And then all that's left is block up to the top. So their scaffolding wasn't high enough, so they put another section up there. The problem is the crossbars are here. If somebody happens to step out here on the end, it's sayonara sucker. Thailand safety. But they're fixing those critter cages up there right now. Like I said, they got to get across here, and then they got a couple more over here, and then they're done. God, I hate being a pain in the ass, these guys, but you know, I've said it 100 times. It's my money, my project, my house I got to live with forever, so it needs to be the way I want it. That don't look like a very good fit. Boss is on the other end. I'm going to go look at his and see what it looks like. Okay, we're nearing sunset again. Today is going to be an editing nightmare. Lots of little clips. Ever since I found that problem, I don't know. I've just been checking on everything now. I'm just paranoid, I guess. I don't know. These guys have been working on this all day. I don't know what they've been working on. I guess they're trying to clean up this bottom. It still looks like crap. It's far less than desirable. Asked the contractor today if they're done with that top beam on that first wall. He said yes. I just shook my head. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to have somebody come in and top skim coat it because I can't live with that. Can't do it. And if that's the best they can do, then that's the best they can do. And I just won't put a recommendation out there for this fence team. Period. I threw these out here so the cows won't come through here. They typically won't step across something like that because they're afraid they'll fall through it. These guys are still working on the varmint guards. But I see this piece of metal up here, and I walked around the whole house, and it's the only one I see. Third hump in, there's a metal clip on the end of it, and I'm not sure why. But that's the only one I see. I want to make sure that it's not a clip that's holding the tile in place until they leave, and then it falls and rusts off, and then my tile falls up. I don't see that metal clip anywhere. I've walked all four sides. It's the only one I see, so something's up with that. But I've got it on video. I will question it before they leave. And if they just pull it and walk away and that thing falls apart, then it's on them, whether it falls apart today or 6 months from now. In fact, I'd be tempted to just crawl up there and pull on it once they leave if they just pull the clip and walk away. It's not raining out. They've got the 3/4 inch well hose up on the roof, and they are leak testing it, every seam and every joint. And I can tell you right now, I've been walking around in here for 10 minutes trying to find a drop of water, and I have not seen anything. So that's a good thing. That's the amount of water they were running on it right there. So that's a pretty good flood test. And they did every hip and the ridge multiple times, went around the whole roof. Looks good to me. So they got all the varmint guards or whatever they're called fixed all the way around. Had to go back through this about 3 times to make sure they got them all right, but they got them. But yeah, I think the roof crew's done, so we can send Duke a payment now. All right, with the completion of the roof and another sunset in paradise, we're going to call it a video. Thanks for joining us at Paradise in Thailand.